I think it was Wayne Dyer who famously said that if you really want to achieve enlightenment, it's not going and sitting in a cave somewhere and meditating for days on end. It's actually driving in a minivan cross country with a bunch of kids in the back seat. And that always struck out to me because when life is happening and it's coming at us, and we're supposed to use what we read about or use what we learn, and you're in the moment, it can be a challenge. I promise you, it gets easier the more you meditate and attune with yourself, and the more you create that sovereignty within yourself, the relationship with the divine. The more that channel is open, the less that you respond or even do respond to anything that we'll say is a trigger. But there are triggers. We're all triggered all day long. We have the opportunity to be triggered every day, all day long. And what do you do with that? And one of the most important things for me in being triggered was to, number one, take a deep breath. Create a space in between that moment of feeling hot and ready to go and your response. And it's funny, even my kids will notice that when I'm breathing, mommy's resetting. And people will begin to know around you that you are calibrating for your response versus being reactionary for your response. And that's where you're tuning more into your divinity. That's where you're saying, I matter more than this moment. I matter more than how I receive, how I was being treated right now, and I'm gonna go within and recalibrate and see that there was intention for love, there was an opportunity for love, there was a space for love. And if it's not out there, I'm gonna create it right now. So creating that gap before you respond is so powerful. And then you can notice that it takes the power away, and the power comes in here. And then you have the space to say, either thank you, I receive, and that's not my truth. But you can come from a place of your own individualized power versus a reaction of that person coming from their wounding or their need for power. It's a very big difference. And Gabor Mate talks about you name it to claim it. And it's so powerful what he does with the work he does in reducing the flame out of the story. And with triggers, so much of triggers are about past experiences. It's this layering on of past experiences. And then we can be in a very innocuous, unintending moment and boom, there's a trigger. But when you name it to claim it and you take all of the power out of it, then we can be in this experience with more neutrality. And we can be in this experience more for the presence of who we are here to be and to tap into our hearts and to come from love. And that's where we go more into our sovereignty, into the fullness of who we are. And what I like to say is into our greatest expansion.